is that one right there. All right, get that. And I will put up a video to show you how to accept tap for iPhone. Oh, tap to pay. I thought it was tap for pay, but I was like, I know it ain't for pay. So I just remixed and said it was for iPhone. It's not for iPhone. Hey girl, hey. How you doing? Girl, I missed you. Like, I really missed y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. When I tell y'all I have been like so anxious and excited to record this video, like, and I don't know why. I just was like, look, I cannot wait to do this video. So I really hope that it reaches whoever it's supposed to reach, right? But so anyway, I'm gonna just get straight to it. So this video is going to basically be about pop-up shops, all the things that you will need, or all the things that I needed for a pop-up shop, specifically for personnel businesses. Also, though, like if you have a clothing boutique or any other kind of business, some of this stuff will still be applicable to you. So keep watching, like you already here. You done made it this far, girl. So what you about to click off now for? Like why? So anyway, so I did not get a lot of content from the pop up shop. To be honest, I kind of like forgot. Oh, y'all, hold on, my camera. It's about to die. I kind of like forgot to record as much as I needed. There is gonna be like some random clips throughout the video from the pop up shop, but it's not gonna be like as detailed as I wanted it to be. Girl, I'm gonna tell you up front. I was outside and it was hot. I don't like to be hot and I cannot stand the sweat. And I was both at this pop up shop. So it was a lot of things that I had visioned for this particular video that I wanted to get from the pop up shop, but it just did not happen. But anyway, so I am going to be focusing on basically like the differences or the different type of pop-up shops that you can do based on location, so you can be inside or outside. I'm also going to be focusing on some of the products that I took, also some of the tools that I needed and all of that. So I actually wanted to make sure that I did not forget the most important things, so I did take some notes. So if you see me on my phone reading the notes, that's why I really wanted to make sure there was just certain things that I did not forget. Okay, so let's get straight to it. I'm gonna start off with this. Okay, do inside pop-up shops. Don't, girl, don't do nothing outside. Okay, now if you the type, you all for nature and you don't mind being hot and you don't mind sweating and all of that stuff, outside pop-up shops would be perfect for you. But if you somebody like me, okay, and you like, girl, I don't like to sweat, I don't like to be hot, if it's on the outside, I'm telling you, do not do it, because you got to set up, then you got to be out there for x amount of hours in the sun. It don't matter the fans that you got, none of that. I'm telling you, okay, it does not matter. You will be hot, and then you also got to break everything down. Like, it's, yeah, do inside pop-up shops. Last year I went to InvestFest as a vendor, and I was obviously on the inside, right? So I will tell you, last year I was complaining about it being so cold, because it was, when I tell y'all, it was freezing in there. Like, it was freezing. However, okay, I bought the first day I didn't have my jacket. But the rest of the time I had a jacket or a cardigan or something. So that kind of like made it better. I was still cold, but obviously not as cold, right? But this pop-up shop outside, there was nothing that was stopping the heat. I had a fan, which I will everything that I'm going to talk about as far as what I actually bought for like setup and all of that, that's going to be linked down below. Um, and this is what I meant by I didn't get as much content as I wanted, because I really wanted to, get content of the whole setup. So you'll see when I'm talking about the tablecloth and the table runners and all that kind of stuff. But even though I did not get that content, when you click the links, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. But I ended up going on Amazon and I ordered a neck fan, right? So girl, I need to go write a review. I'm not the type that write. I don't really write reviews per se. I really don't. Now if you want to like my girls that I shop with all the time, because I try to be super supportive, I always write reviews for some of them, not all, some. But like Amazon stuff or Target stuff, I'm not about to write no review. Now the only time they gonna hear from me is if somebody pissed me off, and with them, I don't even do a review, a negative review. I typically just go straight to corporate. Honey, I'm that girl. I would send an email. I would send a letter. I would find a CEO address. Like, do not piss me off when it comes to the area of customer service. I be letting some stuff slide, but if I get to a point where I'm like, yo, like this not gonna work for me, oh honey, I find addresses, emails, and everything that I need. So it's not that serious with this fan, but like I got, and I kind of like want to go and leave a review to let people know, like, girl, don't order this. So, now the fan is cute. It's a cute little fan. Okay, I will say, I'm all about, you know, I'm all about aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? So, I took my time to find me a cute little fan, and I'll make sure that I pop it up somewhere throughout the video, right? So I found this cute little fan, and I read the reviews, and everybody was like, so they advertised that it's supposed to last, I think, for like up to 10 hours or 12 hours or something, right? Um, and but then all the reviews were really good. Like, oh my god, I went traveling, or I did this, or I didn't. I had the fan on, and the fan worked great. Blah blah blah. So I'm thinking like, oh, your girl done found a fan. It was like one or two reviews that wasn't good. But I'm just the type, when I read reviews, especially on Amazon, if there's more positive than negatives, then I'm just like, okay, I know you can't make everybody happy. But the one to two negative reviews is gonna be the same as that review I'm in the writing. Girl, I'm not telling you that fan got out there. It did not last for no 10 or 12 or however long they have it advertised. It did not last that long at all. Okay. I so when I first got out there and I started unpacking it, or I started setting up, and I had to unpack the tent. I'm gonna get to the tent in a second. Just know it was a 10-foot tent, and I'm only 5'1.5". Okay, by myself. And they said it was easy set up for 1 to 2 people, but I'm gonna get there in a second. So, as I'm starting to set up, I'm like, I'm getting a little warm. Like it's a little hot out here, Dad. I do not like. I cannot stress it enough. I do not like to sweat. So I was like, I'm gonna put my little fan on. I had charged her up to like 100%. Like she was ready to go. So I put it on. I put it around my neck and I turned it on. So I'm like, okay, it wasn't like it didn't make like a huge difference, but it did prevent me from sweating. I was still like a little hot, but I'm like, long as I'm not sweating, perfectly fine. I understand I'm outside, it's summertime, I know I'm going to be hot, I just don't want to sweat. So it was, I was setting up, and then I just happened to look at the battery percentage. Now this is like 10 minutes later. Girl, why was the fan on 90%? You only been on for 10 minutes, so I only get 1% per minute. So then that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to cut this off to save the battery, because I'm gonna be out here. The pop-up shop, it opened at 10. I got there at 8. So I'm like, I still got a whole bunch of hours left, and you already dropping by the tens at this point. So anyway, so super fast forward, I'm out there, I'm cutting it off, I'm cutting it on. Like, I will say there was certain moments where it got like really windy. So that was very good for me. It kind of like cooled me off, but then it went away. So when it went away, that's when I would cut the fan on. I would let it stay on for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I cut it back off, and then I kept doing that. So, girl, she ended up down on me, and I had like 2 hours left. I don't think I have ever sweat this much in all my little days of living. Okay, now I've been around, I've been living for a little while now. Okay, um, the sweat, it was pouring, and when I tell you I was so mad, like heated, and I ain't even mean to really like do heated on heated, but I was mad. So anyway, so that's what I'm telling y'all. Get a do a pop-up shop that's on the inside. I did see one of the vendors that was beside me. They had like, I don't know if it's like considered an industrial fan. It was kind of small. It didn't have a cord. So maybe I can look into those, but I'm not gonna waste my time and look into it, because I'm just not gonna do another outside pop-up shop. I don't have it in me. I know for a fact, God had me. He blessed me to be born in the year I was born, because I would not have been able to make it back when my ancestors was out there in the fields and stuff. I get, I really don't think that I would have made it out there. Like, no. So anyway, do not do outside pop up shops. All right. Now, the second thing. So it's gonna kind of be like I didn't put them in no particular order. Okay. So the next thing I have is have fun. All right. Joke and laugh. Um, when it's appropriate. All right. So I'll give you an example, and this is specifically for introverts. So I will let y'all know in the previous videos that I did for InvestFest, I did tell y'all that I am an ambivert. Ambivert, is that how you say it? Ambivert. Girl, where I get ambi from? Anyway, so I thoroughly enjoy being by myself in my little room or in my little house, doing my own thing, minding my business. And then there are times where I want to be around people, but then like if I'm around people for too long or around too many people, I gotta like go back into my little cocoon, and you won't see or hear from me for like a couple of weeks. Like that's just me. Okay, so this is specifically if you're an ambivert or however you say the word, or if you're an introvert. All right. So when I was at InvestFest, because it was a huge pop up shop, okay, you're literally seeing like thousands of people, no exaggeration. You gotta kind of like be a little bit aggressive. Like you gotta speak to people and kind of like invite people into your booth. This particular pop-up shop was a lot different. It was a lot smaller, and in the email that they sent the vendors, they basically said like don't be aggressive, just let people come to you. So what I did, I would see people look, or we would make eye contact, and I would speak. Or if it was specifically a lady, if a lady walked by and she was wearing something that I felt like it was cute, or I found something that she had that I liked. So as she's walking by, and we'll look at each other and we'll speak, and then I'll say hey, and then she'll say hey, and then I say girl, I like your dress, and then boom, she comes to the booth, right? Versus at InvestFest, I was like, hey girl, like what you doing? What you looking for? You need some rings, you need some nails. I was very, up and at it, and they would come to the booth. So it was a completely different audience. So once I got people to the booth, I don't really like to be super salesy, right? I want people to feel comfortable in my booth. I don't want people to feel like she's just trying to get my money. I want to present myself as somebody that's knowledgeable. So I want them to feel comfortable asking me any type of questions. And I also want them to not feel pressured to the sense where they have to rush to get out of my booth, right? So I typically how I would do it is I would show them all the different products that I have, and then I would tell them the prices, and we'll get into the products that you should take and how like the strategy that I use for the specific products that I took. But I'll just go over the products really really quick, and then I'll see them looking. So once I finish, telling them about the products, I'll say, okay, well, what product sticks out to you the most? And then if they point something out, and then we'll just talk about that product. So then there are some people. I had two college girls. Girl, let Chanel know that she's an auntie without letting her know that she's an auntie. Okay, so let me tell y'all what happened. So they came to the booth. They were walking by. They both looked, and I spoke to them. I said, hey y'all, how y'all doing? And they said hey, and then they just walked over to the booth, right? I made them feel welcome, right? I spoke. So I gave them the rundown. All of the accessories that I took, or all the accessories that's on the site, is $5. So I told them about everything, and then we focused on the accessories because that's what they were mainly looking at. They were looking at the press-ons as well, but like they were really gravitating towards the accessories. So we're talking about the accessories, and they're like, oh my god, this is so cute. You got anklets, blah blah blah. So they were debating on which one they wanted. So one of the girls had looked down at one of the rings. I have a ring that says 1990. So on the site, it's called the year of Chanel because that's the year that I was born, and the 90s is my favorite era of all times. I ain't gonna debate with nobody. I'm not gonna argue with nobody. The 90s was, listen, okay, the greatest time. The Lord knew to not make me an adult or a college student in the 90s. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so I love the 90s so much. So she's looking at the rings, and then she run across the 90s ring. So she was like, 1990. She was like, oh, that's way before my time. So I said, girl, hold on. So all of us bust. It was her and her little homegirl. So all three of us bust out laughing, right? We were having fun. So I was like, girl, don't tell me that I'm an auntie without telling me that I'm an auntie. So then she was like, I ain't mean it like that. So we both still laughed. So then she was like, I mean, so if you was born in 90, she was like, how old? She was trying to calculate it. So I was like 34. So then she was like, oh, well, girl, you good? Girl, don't do that. Okay, like, do not call me an auntie without calling me an auntie in a sense. So we joked and we laughed, and then they ended up having more questions. I answered the questions, and then she ended up getting an anklet. She ain't get the '90s ring. Um, so then there was another lady. It was a lady. She looked at the same as that ring too. Me and her were the same age. And she had actually worked on a college campus. So her and I were talking, and it was her. I want to say it was her boyfriend. It was a guy. I don't know if it was her husband or her boyfriend, but they were together, and she was looking at the '90s ring. And he was basically like telling her like, go ahead and get it. Like it's really it's really nice X, Y, and Z. That conversation was a little bit different than the conversation with the college girls, right? So I still made her feel comfortable. When she put it on, I was like, it really does look good on you, and it really did. I ain't gonna lie to no customer and tell you that something look good on you and then it look trash, because that's gonna come back on me. If somebody else feel like it look trash on you and then they gonna ask you, girl, where you get that from, and you say Shaded by Chanel, they gonna know not to shop with Shaded by Chanel. So I don't set my people up for nothing. I am completely honest. I don't do that with nobody. If it look bad, I'm gonna tell you that it look bad. I'm gonna suggest something else. Okay, so you're gonna get the real deal with me, child. I ain't got time. So I was like, it really does look good, on you X, Y, and Z. And her boyfriend was like, girl, just get it. I was like, girl, it's only $5, right? Because at that point, it's like you're not spending that much. But she decided to not get it for whatever reason. But I will say that during that time, I could tell that she was still comfortable throughout the entire process, and we were actually talking and laughing about younger people. So I still made sure that I had fun with her, but the vibe and the energy was a little bit different between her and the two college students. Okay. So I said all that to say, get out there, man, and just be yourself. Like if if you're more of the reserved type, that is completely fine. You will definitely attract customers that are reserved like you. So just go with the flow. Don't try to force yourself to do anything that I just said. If you're not the type to joke or to laugh or to do certain things, don't do it. Just know what works for you and then apply that to your customers. Okay. Um, so let's talk about the products to take. Take your best sellers and an affordable item. So, okay, just like online, right? People will buy what other people are buying, or they will buy an affordable product, especially if it's their first purchase with you. But make sure that the affordable product is a quality product. So on my website, I have $10 sets, and right now they are buy one get one free. Um, if y'all want some, girl, go get them because I need them gone. I'm working on something else, and I need them off the site. Okay, I need them gone because what I'm working on is gonna be like a contradiction if they still on the site by the time I do what I'm working on. So you want some buy one get one free nails, girl? www.shadedbychanell.com. But anyway, they are so I those are actually my best sellers on the site, and they're my most affordable products. So I know that I said in one of my previous videos that I am very conscious on how I do my pricing, right? And I had to what I learned when I first started Shaded by Chanel, I had like my price range around like 60 something dollars. Um, and I really wasn't getting orders like I wanted. And then I ended up adding a more affordable product, and it was quality, and I made it $10, and I started getting a lot of orders. And then some of those girls, they would only buy the $10 sets, but then some of them will also start buying the $60 sets. So that's why it's important to make sure that you have something that's affordable and that's also quality. I listen to a lot of like business, I don't want to say business podcasts, but I listen to EYL very heavy. I listen to Wall Street Trapper extremely heavy. And then some of the people that they are connected to, I listen to them. And they have a thing where they say like, don't advertise yourself as an affordable business. The only people or the only business that can do that and really get away with it because they made a great name for themselves is Walmart. So to me, affordability does not have a bad connotation. Like when I see affordable, it actually makes me want to shop or to actually see what they have. But I will say, don't necessarily use the word affordable, right? So what typically happens, and it's crazy because when I went to InvestFest, um, the $10 sets, I didn't even really have them out. Um, when I went to InvestFest, I took a lot of luxury sets because I knew a lot of people was gonna be there because I went to InvestFest the very first year, but um I went as an investor instead of a vendor. So I knew that a lot of people was there the first year, and I'm like, there's no way that even more people are not gonna be there when I went last year. So I took all of my luck or a lot of my luxury sets, high price items, excuse me, and I had the $10 sets with me, but I didn't put them out because in my mind, I'm just trying to make money. Like, y'all, they're gonna drop bags. So they did what actually sold the most when I was in InvestFest was the $5 accessories, which is why I took them to this pop up shop. And also, I have some luxury sets that are $39. This particular, or those particular luxury sets were the cheapest luxury sets that I had. Everything else was higher priced. So this year, what I did, I said, well, I'm not gonna go just to make money. Like, I'm not gonna do that, right? At this point, you know, and I don't really want to say that that was my ultimate goal at InvestFest because it really wasn't. I wanted to get people on the email list and, all the things like that. I really wanted people to see who was behind, excuse me, the brand, and, get to, like, if somebody, happen to shop with Shaded by Chanel, and they be like, oh yeah, I met her at InvestFest, she's real cool, or I ain't like her, or whatever their opinion was, right? But at least they knew the face that was behind the brand. But I also knew that they coming out there to spend money. So with this year, I took a different approach. I really wanted to nurture people, right? And I really wanted people to get on the email. Even if you didn't buy anything, I need you to get on the email list because if I can't get you today, I can get you tomorrow. So I decided to obviously take the $5 accessories because people will spend between $1 to $10 with you. Okay, they will invest $1 to $10. Once you get over that $10 mark, people get a little. But they will invest $1 to $10. So I took the $5 basic. I mean, I took the $5 accessories, and I took the $10 basic sets. However, the $10 basic sets did not sell at the pop up shop. I actually took my $15 French tips, and they sold. So I was like, oh, so y'all out here, y'all spend $15, but y'all won't spend 10, right? So, but either way, it still worked out well, or my strategy still worked out because the $15 set was cheaper than the $39 set that I had at InvestFest, right? So I still was able to get orders, and I was still also able to tell people what my best sellers were. Also, I did take these Frenchies, okay? I took the white tip, and then I also took the new pastel shades, and um I was telling people that those were my best sellers, and people were very interested. However, they were $49, and if they never made a purchase with me, they decided to not purchase. But some people still went on the joined the email to text list. So either way, at least I still got that right. So don't go out there and have a mindset of money, money, money. Have a mindset of I need to at least get you on the text or the email list, even if you don't make a purchase today, because I can convert you, especially if you have a welcome series set up and all that kind of stuff, right? But I will say, if this is going to be your very first pop up shop and you have never, um, and you don't even have a website, or if you do have a website, but this is like your first pop up shop, and like this is like your launch, I would say, like you haven't gotten any orders on your website, take whatever is the most affordable or your cheapest item. If your cheapest item is $50, then take the um $50 item with you, right? If your cheapest product is $100, take your $100 product, but then also take a product that's a little bit more than the $100, right? So then that way the people will be able to kind of see what is the difference between the $100 product that you have and then this $200 product, and why should I get a $100 product, right? So yeah, bestsellers and affordable. If you do not have a bestseller, take an affordable item. If you don't really feel like your stuff is affordable, just take your bestseller. And then what you'll do is, if you when you take your bestseller, you explain why everybody is buying this, especially if it's something that's constantly selling out. Let them know these do not stay in stock. You got the opportunity to get them. You got to go ahead and get them, right? Talk your bestsellers up. Typically, if your bestseller is like mine, to where they're affordable, um, and then it's a bestseller, you don't really have to necessarily talk it up too much, because again, if you stay within a certain price range, people are going to be interested in them anyway. Also, don't be afraid of prices, right? So I was standing there minding my little business. This girl, we made eye contact. I spoke. She came in the booth. She said, "Oh, you got press-ons?" And then the first thing she went to was the French tips. I gave her a quick little rundown. She looked at them and she said, "I want those and those." Never purchased from Shaded by Chanel. Never seen a girl day in my life. I did not have to tell her how to use them or none of that, right? Like, I did just give her my basic spiel of how I was doing with the rest of the products on the tables, but like, I didn't really like talk the um I didn't really like talk them up. So as I was backing, I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, girl, they $49 a piece. This about to be over $100, and you don't know shit about Chanel. At least I don't think you do. Like, I don't know you. Like, so I ended up asking her. I said, well, do you wear press-ons? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, I'm actually glad that, you know what I'm saying, you're out here, because I've been looking for somebody to get my press-ons from. And she was like, I think she said something like she needed some that day or something. So I said, oh, I was like, girl, thank God, because I was really sitting here trying to figure out, how do I tell you how to wear these nails when you just said you just wanted two of them? You ain't even know me from a can of paint. So I will say, like, don't let the pricing scare you. When I told her what the price was, I was a little hesitant, and I told her. She was like, okay, and then she tapped her card, bagged her stuff up, and then, girl, she left. So don't be scared of pricing. Just go out there, have some type of strategy with the prices that you do have, or the products that you have, right? You do want to have a mixture, I would suggest, based off of her. Um, but that was my first time experiencing that, in person. And I realized, and I said this in the InvestFest videos, I do so much better in person than I do online. And I really feel like it's because you're not really getting my personality. I try to make Shaded by Chanel be so professional, because I know at times, girl, I could be a little ghetto. Okay, your girl is from the hood, so look, okay, like, what it is, ho, what's up, kind of thing. That's me, right? I try not to do that with, the business, but I'm starting to realize I have to put a lot more of my personality into the business online. Like, and I'm not talking about how I can just, like, how I'm doing this and you get my personality, but I'm talking about like in emails and text messages, stuff like that. It's very, very professional. And I'm not always a, you know, professional girl. There's times where I step out of the profession, and you get the girl from around the way. So, but anyway, just make sure that when you select your products, that, again, you have some type of strategy that you feel as though it's going to work for you. And also keep in mind, if this is your first pop-up shop, or if it's not, you're not really going to know how it goes until you get there. So each and every single pop-up shop should typically be different. So you're going to learn something new each and every single time. So you can sit down and take notes and say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then once you get to the pop-up shop, if those strategies don't work, don't beat yourself up. It just means that those strategies did not work for that audience. As long as you get at least one order, okay, as long as you get one order, you did what you were supposed to do. All right, you converted a customer or a shopper into a customer. You did your thing. So something else that I will touch on, but I'm not going to touch on like too deep into and I'm not going to go too deep, because it's really your preference and your goal. But if you don't know what your goal amount, right? So let's say if this is your first pop up and you say, well, I don't know how much money I want to make. If you may be intimidated and say, I want to make 500, but I don't think that I will make 500, first change your mentality. Okay. I would honestly say, don't even, especially if this is your first pop up, don't even go out there with a goal. You just need to go out there just to be out there, right? However, I will say, whether this is your first pop up shop or your millionth pop up shop, especially if this is not your first pop up shop, then you should already know this. If you don't have a specified goal, at least make your money back that you invested in going to the pop up shop. So let's say, with all the supplies and everything, whatever you decide to include in the expenses for the pop-up shop. Like, I didn't include gas in mine, because, girl, whatever, right? I don't really think it's that deep. Gas is high anyway. Whether I'm including that in my goal or not, it's high, it's high. Now, if I was on a flight, if I was flight, hotel, all of that, I run my money back. But if I'm just going up the street, I'm not charging gas, right? But I will say, make sure that you at least have a goal of getting your money back based off the expenses that you put, or the expenses that you paid to go to the pop-up shop. So typically with the pop-up shops, you have to pay for the booth rental, then you have to pay, sometimes they provide tables. Thankfully the pop-up shop that I went to, they provided me 2 tables, and it was $15 for both tables. So I thought it was going to have to be $15 a piece, but they ended up only charging me $15 for both tables. And then the supplies that I got, like the tablecloths and all that kind of stuff, which again, just a reminder, will be linked down below. So, I would suggest just total all of that up. And let's say if it was $300, right? And then you'll say, okay, this is my first pop up shop. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I don't even really know if I'm going to make money or not. I'm going to set my goal to be $300. And then you make sure that you take products that is going to equal at minimum $300, right? So then that way, let's say if you sell out your entire pop-up shop, at minimum you're going to make your money back from the investment that you put to go to the pop-up shop. If it's $300 and your original goal in your mind was $500, but you still nervous, girl, just add the extra $200 to your goal. And if you don't make it, again, you don't make it, as long as you get one order. If you don't get any orders, it's still not the end of the world. Is not a bad thing. It's just more so you will really take that particular pop-up shop and really, learn the lessons. There's going to be a lot of lessons, right? And you're going to learn your lessons. And then the next time you go to a different pop-up shop, or if you go back to the same location, you'll know exactly what you need to do. You'll be a little bit more familiar with that audience, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're looking for a financial goal, at the bare minimum, make sure that that goal is going to get you your money back. You want to get a return on your investment, okay? I just want to throw that out there, girl. You're welcome. All right. So also, so go back to um, the text and email list. Have some type of freebie or special offer that will get people to subscribe to your list. And then again, like I said, the point is growing not just your bank account, but your overall brand. If you can't get them to purchase today, you can get them to purchase tomorrow. Make sure you have a welcome email flow set up. All right. So basically everything that I just said. My freebie was the freestyle guide that I have. So if you do not know, Shaded by Chanel offers essential and luxury press on nails, and I also offer I don't want to say like but basically I style the nails I style outfits according to the nails, and then I'll basically take pictures and then put the inspo in the product listing. But then I also created a guide, or like a style guide, one to show you how to find your own style if you don't feel like you have style, or two, if you feel like you do have style, kind of like how to spruce it up if that's what you want to do. Or if you have a wedding to go to, or if you want to go out to brunch with your girls and you really trying to like figure out how do I like style my outfit with my nails, especially if you never even thought about doing that, like the ebook shows all of that, right? So it's a lot more into it, but I'll just leave it there. So they will get that free download, and then they will also get a free download for all things about press-ons. So specifically, if you don't have a free download, you definitely need to get one. Especially if you offer something that people don't typically do. Like I have realized on these pop-up shops that a lot of people do not wear press-ons. A lot of people do, but I feel like there's a lot more that don't. So for the people, I would ask like, so do you wear press-ons? And then they'll say no, but like your nails are really beautiful. So I say, well, listen, I have a free guide that teaches you every single thing that you need to know about press-ons. It's very simple, it's very easy, but it gives you a step-by-step process, so then that way you can learn. So they're like, really? So then boom, they'll get right on the email or the text list, right? And then there will be some girls, if I would ask them like, hey, do you wear press-ons? They'll be like, yeah. I wouldn't offer the free guide to them because 9 times out of 10, if they already wear press-ons, whatever's in the ebook, I'm going to assume that they know, because it's a very straight to the point, extremely basic ebook. Like it really helps you learn how to apply, remove, all that kind of stuff, how to reuse your press-ons. Like it's the absolute basics. So then I would tell them, well, hey, just in case if you're interested, I do have a free style guide to where if you have a wedding or the same exact spiel that I just gave y'all, and then they're like, oh, for real, I never heard of that. That's dope. I'm gonna go ahead and get it free. Now they're on the email and the text list, and I didn't really have to sell anything. I didn't have to go on the website, or I didn't have to go to the app. You know what I'm saying, to create an order or nothing. It was that simple, and then they'll walk away. Cool. And then when they walked away, your girl sat down, because what was she? She was hot. What Soulja Boy say? I'm on fire, hot tamale. That's how I was feeling, okay? blazing. Hell is not for me. All right, so tell people what they need. So a lot of times, regardless of if people are familiar with what you offer or not, if it's something they already use or whatever the case may be, there is a need that they have that they don't know, right? So I'll give you an example. There was an older lady came to my who came to the booth. I ended up, we made eye contact. I spoke. I think I told her I liked her dress. I think she was a lady. It was a lady out there. I don't remember if it was her, but it was a lady out there. She had like this blue ombre dress. It was like really cute. And I'm not really a dress girl per se. Okay. Y'all know if you've been here long enough, I'm a biker shorts, graphic tee with some sneakers kind of girl, right? Or some jeans, tee, and some sneakers. But her dress was really cute. And I'm trying to like get over there to the little girly side a little bit more. So I've been like wearing dresses. Well, I ain't gonna say dresses. I wore a dress. I'm gonna pop it up because it's like really cute, and the girls on Lemonade is loving it. But anyway, so she came to the booth and she was basically like, I don't do press-ons. We was talking about the cuticle oil that I had bought. The cuticle oil. So another strategy that I did, and it didn't really work too well, but it's okay. It could have just been the particular audience. So I'm actually dropping cuticle oil like kind of soon. So what I was trying to do was I was hoping that if I take it to the pop-up shop before I release it to everybody else, um, if I take it to the pop-up shop, they buy it and then they end up submitting reviews. By the time it actually releases, there'll already be some really good reviews on the site. So then, other people will go ahead and start to buy. But it didn't work that well. But it's okay because I actually sent it to one of my girls and she's been using it. So I'm gonna send her a review request so I can at least have one positive review, right? So anyway, but we were talking about the cuticle oil, and she was saying, "Oh, why use olive oil, for my cuticles?" I was like, "Okay, cool." So then, that's when we got back into the press on. And she was like, "I don't really wear press ons because I don't feel like they look right on my hands." Blah blah blah. So I said, "Okay, well, let me see your hand." So what I basically did was I went through the nail shapes that I had, the nail shape and length that I had for the $10 sets, right? Could I have chosen the more expensive sets? I could have, but again, I'm not out there to make money per se. Like I'm not money. Like my mind is not focused solely on money. So we were going through the different shapes and the lengths of the $10 basis set. So what we discovered was, or what I discovered was, I told her, I said, "Listen, I said, well, you were previously trying to wear press-ons in the past. One, you weren't using a good glue. Okay, so we talked about the glue. But I also said you were getting the wrong shape and the wrong length according to one, the length and the size of your nail bed, and also your cuticles. So when I ended up, putting the different nails on her hands or on her finger to show her, I'm like, this is what you want to look for, right? Like look around your cuticles, make sure like underneath it's not, it's not too short, make sure on the side, everything. So she was like, yo, she said, "Thank you so much. Nobody has ever told me that." So then she said, "Well, the next time, I go to the store to get some press-ons, now I know what shape and blah 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 to look for." So I said, "Okay, cool." I could have tried to persuade her to get the $10 sets, but she already told me up front, like, I'm not really into press-ons, and she was like, "Look, I'm really thankful." So for me, that was good enough, right? I don't remember if I gave her a business card. Y'all, make sure you take business cards. I had actually forgot to get mine, and I had like a couple in my purse. Couple, girl. I had a couple in my purse, and I need to find them because I need to put some more in my purse. But I ended up basically running out at the pop up shop. But anyway, like I, she still got the education that she needed. She probably won't purchase from Shaded by Chanel. She probably won't even remember the name, but whatever. However, there was a um there was a young her boyfriend. I'm gonna tell you, I really liked them. Okay, like they had some very very good energy. Okay, very good energy. Her boyfriend was super cool. She was like super giddy. Like she was really like a cute girl. So, um, she was basically saying how she had small nail beds. So the older lady that I had originally before her, she had like longer and wider nail beds. They had they were short and small basically, right? Because I'm really like trying to find a word for it, but they were short and small. So, she was like, "I don't like really know like what shape to get, blah blah blah." Took her through the same exact process. I showed her the $10 sets. We went through the shapes and the lengths, and then I also showed her the French tips, the $15 ones, because she said she really really liked those. So when we were going through the $10 sets, I discovered, I said, okay, you don't need to get ballerina or coffin. You need to either get square or you need to get stiletto. Just based off, so her nail beds were short, and then she also had them shaped, or I guess she did mention her natural shape was kind of off, but I guess she didn't shape them, but they were like more so square. But because her nail beds were so short, she could get away with our $10 set. So she was able to wear short stiletto because her nail beds were so short that it didn't matter if she typically what I tell people to do, especially if you have long nails and if you don't mind cutting them to make sure that your press-ons last a little longer, I suggest that you clip and that you trim, and that you file your press-ons and round them. So then that way, no matter what shape that you wear, you're not going to worry about the press-on detaching from your nail, from like the free edge, I guess I would say. So I hope that makes sense. And anyway, because her nail beds were so short, it did not matter if she cut them or not, right? Like her nail beds were really short. So she said what the issue was. She said that she didn't like the stiletto because it was a little too long. So then she said, okay, but I really do like the French tips. So we looked at the French tips. I helped her size them. And I told her up front, I said, when you look at any type of press ons, I said, do not look at um like the larger sizes. I said you probably want to start from like size 2 or 3, right? So press-ons, they go from 0 to 11 or either 1 to 12. 0 is the biggest size, 11 would be the smallest, or 1 would be the biggest size, 12 would be the smallest. So I said you don't even need to look at nothing big. You need to go ahead and start kind of like towards the small. The size 2 or 3 is typically the smallest size for the thumb. However, I think she was a size 3. But I was a little surprised because once you get to like 4, 5, and 6, that's typically for the index finger. I was thinking that we was probably gonna have to go to like a size 4 for her thumb, but when we put the 3 on, it worked perfectly. So I said it to say she ended up getting the French tips, right? So that technique, it worked on her, but it did not necessarily work to the point of where I was able to get an order from the other lady. But again, like I said, I was not out there to just solely make money. I really wanted to educate people, and I wanted people to feel comfortable, at least with me, to make sure that they would ask any kind of questions. All right, so the next thing, take products that are in seasons. Okay, if you have a press on nail business, take color related press on. So because it's the summertime, I took a lot of my summer shades, pinks, the blues, the purples, okay, yellow, all that kind of stuff. And people were definitely mentioning like, oh my God, it's so bright, it's so cute, X, Y, Z. So that was confirmation that I obviously bought the right nails. Um, if you are a clothing brand, there was a girl out there. I went and looked at her stuff. Her stuff was really cute, but I could tell that she was trying to get rid of stuff that didn't sell in the cold months because she had like leather jackets, sweaters, and all that kind of stuff. Now listen, it's nothing wrong with that, right? If that's the strategy that you want to use, it's nothing wrong with that. But what you need to do, because you're outside or you're inside per se, and it's the summertime, you would have to tell your customer how could they use this particular product that's set for the winter. How could they use it in the summer or the spring? Or you could say, girl, it's July, right? Fall is right around the corner. It's going to start cooling off in September. Go ahead and get in it. However you feel a way to do it. I would definitely suggest to take that standpoint. I don't personally, like, I didn't really take anything that wasn't set, that wasn't that wasn't sets that were for summer. I did actually take two. I took one of my sets. I took fall for me, but that set can actually be worn in the summer. I'm really, really good with making sure that most of the nails that I design, that you can wear them year round. Because I just like my nails are reusable. So I don't want you to just reuse them in the summer. Like if you have a summer set, depending on what summer set you have, you can actually wear it in the fall. And then if you have a fall set, you can wear that joint in the spring. Like that's the kind of stuff that I think about. Um, so if you are a clothing brand, like you can take, if it's in the summertime, take like some shorts or something. And if you do have a cardigan, kind of like style it, or kind of like show them how they can style it, and then they can roll the sleeve up on a cardigan, right? So then that way, and I don't know, maybe I was looking at the way I was looking at it because I I'm a business owner and I kind of like understand the strategies that different businesses use, or I feel like I do, right? And I don't know if some customers would, pick up on it, but even if they do it, or even if they don't, if you have something that's not really in season, but you can tell them how to use it for that season, hopefully that will get you a sale. But try to make sure that most of your products, if not all, are products that are in season. Okay. If you got a clothing store, don't take no whole bunch of sweats and all of this kind of stuff, right? Like have more shorts or have more tank tops, right? Or have more such and such of whatever is in season. And the same for um, press on nails. And I will say have some classics. French tips. The girls was eating them up, okay? And also in addition um, to be honest, especially if you have a clothing line, there it ain't no right or wrong way to wear nothing. To be honest, like people have their own unique style. People tend to get fashion and style confused. Like fashion basically tells you like what to wear and all this kind of stuff, but style is like it's unique to you. So you can even say like if you do have some stuff in the winter that you're trying to get rid of in the summer, you can let them know like, girl, you can wear this whenever you want. If you want to wear this leather jacket in the heat, you know what I'm saying? Or if you want to wear this leather jacket to brunch and then just throw it over your shoulders with these cute little denim shorts and this tank top. And then once because it might be a little cool in the restaurant. Like there's ways you can do it, right? But if you like let them know that they're able to do or wear how they want to wear it, they'll buy it. And I'm gonna give you an example. There was it was actually a little girl. I got an order from a little girl child. I'm gonna tell y'all something too. The kids was loving your girl, okay? And people who know me know I don't want to do kids. I kind of like stay away from kids. I feel like because I'm so short, a lot of kids don't know how to take me serious, and I feel like they think that I'm a kid too. So they be doing little stuff, and then I know I can't react how I typically or would want to react if it was an adult because they a kid, right? So I kind of like just stay away from them. But anyway, so a little girl came over and I had some anklets. Okay, I don't sell bracelets at all. I had anklets, and her aunt was with her, and me and her aunt were like doing a lot of talking. So her niece had went to a different booth, but me and her aunt, we kept talking X, Y, Z, and she was like, "Oh my God, this bracelet is so cute. My niece would love this." So I told her, I was like, "Girl, that's an anklet." I was like, "But look, if you want to wear it as a bracelet, you can definitely wear it as a bracelet." So we were talking about. She said that there was another vendor out there, and they were charging like $60 for their accessories, and I said, "Well, I don't really, I don't charge that much for my accessories because one, like, they not." There's just simple, I don't know what the other booth had. I don't know if they had like a whole bunch of rhinestones or anything, but mine were just simple. I didn't feel the need to charge a whole bunch of money for the accessories. So anyway, her niece ended up coming over to the booth. Um, and she asked her niece, she said, "Hey," she said, "do you like this?" And she was like, "Oh my God, it's really, really cute." So then she said, "It's just a bracelet." So me and her aunt was like, "No, it's an anklet." But then I ended up telling her, I was like, "Listen, sweetie," I said, "once I'm saying, go ahead and wear it as a bracelet. Like, if you want to wear it as a bracelet, that is your prerogative, okay? You can wear it however you want to wear it." But then I said, as you grow older, if you still have it, and if it gets too small for your wrist, just try it out for your anklet. So then that way you're getting your money's worth. So the little girl was like, "Oh," and then she said, "Well, how much is it?" So I said $5. So then she told her aunt, she said, "Well, I want it." So then her aunt said, "Well, do you have, $5?" So the little girl had $5. And I was charging taxes. A lot of people were asking me, "Are you charging taxes today?" Yes, I am. Today is not tax free day. If you don't pay them taxes, I'm gonna have to pay it. And just let you know, businesses, well, my business, I don't want to say everybody business because I know sales tax is different, but we have to pay taxes on the sales taxes that we charge all. Girl, that was another fun fact that I learned as a business owner. I mean, I've been doing this for a very long time. But when I first started a business, I did not know that. I just knew that I had to I had to, charge sales taxes and I had to pay for them. So if I'm not charging my customers taxes, I have to pay the taxes that they're supposed to pay. And then I have to still pay taxes on for the sales taxes itself. I don't turn them taxes off. Okay, I don't do that. Okay, so I said yes. So, but to make it easier, it came up to like $5, and I think it was like 36 cents. I ended up telling her, just give me $5, just to make it easy. And then that was it. So, um, she was a little girl. I really did not expect to get an order from her. I did not expect for me and her aunt to be engaged as much as we were, So again, give your customer confidence, okay? Really sit down, like really, really sit down and like think about how you can do that, okay? So supplies. I will make sure all of that is linked below, but some of the supplies that I had was a 10-foot tent. Girl, I had sandbags. I'm gonna tell y'all. So I I forgot that my tent that I ordered included sandbags. So it did not include the sand. So for the longest time, I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, well maybe I can just go to like Lowe's or Home Depot or something and get some sand. Why am I about to pay for sand? So I would tell y'all, if y'all somewhere where there's a beach is nearby, if it's a park nearby, girl, go to the beach or to the park and fill your sand bag up with some free sand, because all you're gonna do is end up pouring it out anyway. Okay, but anyway, so when I was reading the reviews, now I will say I had no issue with the tent, but again, this is something that happened. When I was reading the reviews, everybody was saying how it was so easy to set up. A lot of people saying like, yeah, it was just me and I set it up in like 10 minutes. It was a little pop up and then go. So I'm thinking I just gotta push a little button, girl, and it's gonna pop up. No. So I get out there, mind you, it's the booty crack of the morning. Well, no, it's not. I got to the spot around like, they told us the setup started at 8. By the time I got there, it was already some people. I got there at 8. Okay, your girl be on time. If I don't be somewhere on time, then I'm typically early. It's rare that I'm late. But I end up getting there. I got there at 8, and I seen some people that were already setting up. So I was like, oh well, let me hear me get let me hear me get set up then. So because I also knew when I was in InvestFest, I actually had made a couple of orders from other vendors while I was setting up, because typically they just walk through to kind of like, girl, let me see what you got. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that they like, they'll buy it. So that was also another reason why I was like, it was already people out here. Let me go ahead and get set up, so just in case somebody wants some nails or something, girl, you can get it before the customers get it. So I get out there, I'm all confident, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's gonna be boop, a push of a button, and then voila, magic, my tent was gonna pop up, and then I'm gonna be good, and I can go on to the next thing. Girl, you had to put the cover on the top of the tent before you even, pull it. First, you got to pull it out. Okay, you got to pull it out, and then as you keep pulling it out, then you got to make some little adjustments on the legs, and then that's when it'll come up. How did I find this out? I asked the girl that was beside me. I was like, hey, good morning, how are you? She was like, hey. I was like, girl, how did you put your tent up? And then she started laughing, and then she was like, listen, she was like, don't feel bad. She was like, the same exact thing happened to me. So she actually helped me set the tent up. So now I know how to do it, right? But I will say, for like the first 5 minutes I was trying to set that tent up, I should have recorded that, because I know I looked crazy. Okay, so anyway, I had a tent, I had table runners, or I had tablecloths, I had table runners with Shaded by Chanel's name on it. I also had a banner. So I realized, so I had a banner that had my logo on it, and then it had all of my social media, my email, all that kind of stuff. I will say the one that I had, it did not work good for outside, because, like I mentioned before, it would be kind of like windy. So I would suggest, I'm not going to tell you to not get one, but the wind, the way the direction of the wind switched up on me, because it kept blowing in one direction. So when it blew in that direction, it made it fall. So that ended up putting a weight on the back of it so it wouldn't fall, and that was fine. And then the wind started blowing the other way, so then it fell the opposite direction of where the weight was at. So you know what I did? I rolled it right on back up and put it in the bag. Because when I don't got time, I'm already hot. Remember, y'all, your girl was out there and she was hot, okay? I'm already hot. I'm already sweating. If y'all think I'm going to keep picking up this little banner, y'all got me messed up. So I ended up putting that away, but I did have a banner. So I would definitely say that would be perfect for inside pop-up shops. I did see some other people that had their banners up, and they weren't blowing all over the place. So I'm like, girl, so I don't know. Maybe I want the issue, okay? Because all I had to do was set it up, and I set it up properly. But yeah, so I had the banner. Again, like I told y'all, I had the fan. Um, I can't really remember what else, but everything that I had, I promise I will make sure that I link it. Oh, I also had like the acrylic stands to put the information for the freebies. I had some acrylic stands. I'll make sure all of that is linked. So just in case, if you do have a special offer, or if you got like a buy one get one free, or if you're gonna do something like 15% off, and you want people to know without really having to necessarily say it, like if you want that to be the thing that can kind of grasp people to you or gravitate people to you. I just went on Microsoft Word, typed it up. I took a screen grab of the book covers, put those in Microsoft Word, and then I put, get a freestyle guy X, Y, and Z, text Chanel to, my text list phone number, and then boom. And I set those up on the acrylic stands. And then my mama let me use her chair. Take a chair. You will have moments where it's not going to be people in your booth. It's not going to be people walking by to where you think that they're going to walk in the booth. So you can take those moments to sit down. Like, it's okay to sit down. um you can have like just a little typical like outside chair, like the type that you can fold and then put it in a bag. Yeah, you can have one of those. So also, as far as like when you're sitting down because there's no one in your booth, let's say someone is walking by and you and that person make eye contact, and then you speak to them, and they speak back, and then they start walking over to your booth. Stand up. Like, I've seen a lot of vendors, somebody would walk towards their booth, whether they spoke to them or not. And then when the customer got into their booth, they kept they kept sitting. Stand up. Make people feel welcome, right? Make people feel like you want them in your booth. You're prepared to answer any questions. You're prepared to make money. You're prepared to engage with them, right? I personally think that it's kind of disrespectful. Like, if I was a customer and I walked into your booth and you kept sitting, it just would make me feel like you're not really, what I'm saying, that interested. It would not make me feel welcome. So stand up. Okay, whether you inside a booth, I'm sorry, whether you're outside in your pop-up shop or inside, when someone is making their way towards your booth, stand up and be welcoming. I would tell you to smile, but I'm not always, a big smiler. I don't always smile, but I will say, just make sure that that person feels welcome. And one of the first ways to do that on the outside of making eye contact and speaking is standing up. That will definitely show them that, oh, okay, like, she actually wants me here. It makes them feel welcome. What old girl say? Stand up.
Stand up! Stand up!
I'll make sure I have everything linked. The only thing that won't be linked is the chair, because I use my mom's. Not second thing. I think we on like the 50th thing. Um, okay. Set up as soon as you can. All right. So whatever time you're supposed to be there to set up, be there on time or a few minutes early. The last thing that you want to do, especially if this is your very first pop-up shop, or if it's not your first pop-up shop in general, but this is your first time at this specific location and you don't really know, the audience, it's always best to go ahead and get set up sooner, rather than later. So then that way you'll be ready to go, because it was some customers that were actually out there. The pop-up shop wasn't supposed to start until 10, and like there was customers that started coming at like 9:30. So in addition to me saying that you could potentially get orders from vendors, you can also get orders from customers that decided to come early, right? And then you also want to make sure that you have as much time as you need to set up, to get your tables to look how you want it to look. Especially if if you have clothes, or if you have nails like I had. Like, I had to make sure that I also set up the rings and the anklets, and I wanted to make sure everything looked presentable, and that took time. So make sure that you get out there on time or early. There were also some people that got out there a little bit after. They got out there, I ain't gonna say a little bit after, I got there at 8. They got there at like 9:15, right? But they didn't have a lot of stuff. And I could also tell that this wasn't their first time being at this particular pop-up shop. Just, just hearing them say, little things. So, I'm just the type of person, I don't like to be late, and I don't like to I hate to feel rushed. It triggers my anxiety, and then I start to panic, and then whatever I'm supposed to do, it doesn't get done. So if you're like me, if you have like anxiety, or if you don't like to be rushed, get out there early. Okay, something else, chat with vendors. Okay, I'm not telling you to have a full blown conversation. But just say hi, like ask them like, hey, like, what do you sell, blah blah blah, because if they have some home training. They would end up asking you like, what do you sell? Y'all can have a cute little dialogue, and then you just never know where it'll go. Okay. I'm not saying to do that to make money. No, because I didn't get any sales from vendors at this pop-up shop. But you know, it's just nice, especially if y'all like right there beside each other. And 9 times out of 10, if you beside somebody, y'all gonna make eye contact, and it could get like a little awkward if you just y'all just keep looking at each other. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Like, I don't like awkward moments because then I'm also the type. If I feel like it get too awkward, I ask you like, "What are you looking at?" Especially if you keep looking but you don't say anything. I'm definitely the type. What exactly are you looking at? God is still working on me because it used to be what the f are you looking at, but see, I took the f out. Growth. Okay, shout out to your girl. I'm growing now. You know, I'm trying to learn how to not ask people, well, what are you looking at? Also, my face. If I don't say it, my face will definitely say it. I'm not gonna work on that because my face is my face, child. Okay, I've been told my whole life you look mean. Well, why you over here? Do you want me to start looking nice now because you over here telling me I look mean? Because I'm not gonna do it. This is my face. Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, so the last thing, because I don't. This is the last thing that's on the notes and, or in the notes. I make sure that I took notes because I really feel like this is very vital, information. If something else comes to my mind after I say this, I'll say it. But if not, then I'll just wrap up the video. Um, Sorry, child. When I tell you I'm like really out here trying to like multitask. Okay. Um. Okay. Last thing is if you have a Shopify site, no equipment is needed for pop-up shops. All you need to do is download. All you need is your phone, and y'all. Since we here, and I feel like I can trust y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't want nobody to judge me, girl. Why I still got an 11 plus? This is an 11, but I'm gonna get the new iPhone when it come out, cause she be dying. She be my phone now, girl. I need to reach out to Tim Cook. That's the CEO of Apple. If you don't know, I need to reach out to Tim Cook because the way my phone be doing whatever it want to do, and she be dying, she be freezing. I'm like, thank God I'm just in the house and I'm not like in a sticky situation. Because if I needed to call somebody real quick, if somebody was like chasing me or trying to kidnap me, I would be gone because the phone keep goddamn freezing. Like that's their way of making sure I get a new phone. But I'm gonna get one. The new phone is dropping in September. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Aunt Chanel, I used to every time a new phone would drop, I would go get it. This one is paid off. That's also why I'm gonna go ahead and get the new one because I was gonna use this one until it just didn't work no more. But I said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the new one so I can still use Old Yeller as a backup. Okay, just in case I needed her as a backup or something, I can use it. But yeah, I just want to let y'all know I still got an 11, but I'm gonna get it together. Okay, but anyway, so again, no equipment is needed. All you need is your phone and get cash for change. So I went and I got 200 in cash, and I got it in 20 cents, fives and ones. And I was typically going to say no cash at all, cards only, but through experience and InvestFest, I did not take cash, but the person that was with me, she took cash, so we ended up, making it work. But there were people that was only willing to pay in cash, and I get it because you don't know me, so maybe you don't want to use your card. Oh, I don't know why you're just using cash, but I'm not gonna let no money walk away from me. Cash was everything around me. Cream get the money, dollar bills, y'all. Okay, you got to get the coin. If the coin is in your face, you do not let the coin walk away. So get you some cash. I would suggest again get like $200. But I want to show y'all the app that you would need. So it is the Shopify PO. It is a Shopify POS app. Okay. Is that one right there. All right, get that. And I will put up a video to show you how to accept tap for iPhone. Oh, tap to pay. I thought it was tap for pay, but I was like, I know it ain't for pay. So I just remixed and said it was for iPhone. It's not for iPhone. It's called Tap to Pay. So basically, you do not have to upgrade your plan or anything like that. You can keep the free plan. You get 100 free transactions per day using Tap to Pay. And then anytime you exceed 100, it's just 25 cents per transaction. And then you can also, okay, so once you do that, I would suggest when you get to the pop-up shop or either the day before the pop-up shop, go to the Shopify POS app, make sure you got everything set up, and go ahead and turn on the tap to pay. I don't think that there's anything else that I'm missing. I feel as though if there's anything else that I'm missing, um, they will probably be in in the InvestFest pop up in the InvestFest videos. So I'll make sure that I'll select maybe one or two of those videos at the end of this video. So when they pop up, go ahead and watch those. Those now they have a lot of information because that was my very first pop up shop. So I was just telling everything that I knew. Me know or ask your question, and if I know it, I'll definitely answer it. As you can see, as long as this video is, I am not a gatekeeper. Okay. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching thus far. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. Um, Stay tuned for more videos. And yeah, I love y'all. Bye.